You're early. Harper won't be here until tomorrow.
Well, I like to rest up before a job.
You got any baggage?
I'm wearing it.
Clay, look who just flew in from Tucson.
Oh, I didn't know Caswell was that scared.
Maybe he's just being practical. Young Harper gets in town tomorrow. He's awful fast on the draw.
So's Caswell.
I've got horses at the livery stable.
Caswell is 55, Harper is 24. If he were coming in town to kill me, I'd probably hire myself a gun, too.
Might do better to see me first.
Caswell.
Introduce me to your friend.
Chuck Ashley, Sheriff Hollister.
You passing through? Stop by for a visit.
You get a short one. We don't want gunfighters in Tombstone.
Man's entitled to protect himself as he sees fit. Just mind your own business, Hollister.
Your feud with the Harpers has reduced both families to the last man. Why don't you drop it?
Tell that to Harper and see what it gets you.
Ashley, one wrong move, no matter how slight, I'll slap you behind bars.
Is it against the law to spit in Tombstone?
Will be if you do it.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. October 28, 1886. It was trouble that came to Tombstone on the following morning, and its name was Jeff Harper.
Hello, Jeff.
Still here, huh, Sheriff?
Not wearing guns, I see.
That's right. Jail broke me of the habit.
Sam Caswell will be happy to hear that. He thinks you've come back to make good your threat to kill him.
What do you think?
Well, I figure time makes a man smarter. You've had 5 years.
So is Caswell. Is he any smarter or just older?
You just mind your P's and Q's, nobody will bother you. Step out of line, I'll have to jump you.
Well, I see the Harpers are still marked no good in Tombstone.
You both paid a price. Caswell was laid up for a year after your ambush. You went to jail.
The way I figure it, that puts Caswell 4 years up on me.
You had fair warning, Jeff.
You've done your duty, Sheriff. Now let me do mine, huh?
Sneaker loop, Rafe.
$10 says he's dead by morning.
20 says Caswell gets it first.
You're on.
Jeff! Jeff Harper! Welcome back, Jeff. Nice to see you.
Welcome back, Jeff.
Thank you, Joe.
Set him up, Joe, and make it doubles for Jeff.
Hold on. It's been 5 years since I've even smelled this.
Here's to our friend Jeff, huh?
Here to you, Jeff. Wow.
Oh,
I didn't know I had any friends left.
Why, I've always been fond of you, Jeff. You know that. Hey, Caswell's been getting right prosperous since you were away. Land, cattle, horses. He's done right smart by himself. I guess you're going to change his luck, aren't you? Look towards the door. His name's Ashley, a gunfighter from Dodge City. Caswell brought him into town yesterday. He don't give you half a chance, does he?
Fill it up, Joe.
Go easy, Jeff.
I said fill it up.
Do as he says, Joe. I'm paying.
You're a real friend, aren't you?
You know, things are really going to the dogs around here. I can remember when a man didn't hire a two-bit gunfighter to do his dirty work. You know, boys, I met a lot of two-bit gunfighters in jail. Tall ones, short ones, fat ones, skinny ones. All kinds. All kinds, and they all had one thing in common. There wasn't a man among them.
Barton. Buy the loudmouth a drink.
I buy my own.
I said buy the loudmouth a drink.
You bought it. You drink it.
Let's see how much of a man you are. Give him a gun, somebody.
I'll take care of you when I get good and ready.
I say you're ready right now. You give him a gun.
Don't worry, Jeff. You can take him.
Hold it.
You build your reputation by killing men after they've been drinking?
Easy, Sheriff. I've got no quarrel with you yet.
Oh, is that a threat?
Well, now, why should I threaten you? Star, no star. We're just alike. Hired guns, that's all we are.
The whole thing's a mistake, Clay. Elmer bought Jeff a few drinks too many.
Why blame me? I was only being friendly.
Yeah. Hey, we all know you, Elmer. You're a man's best friend. All right, Jeff, let's go.
You're just not happy unless you're pushing somebody around, are you?
Boy, you sure make it easy for a man to dislike you. Now start moving.
Harper. Next time we meet, wear guns. And leave your nursemaid at home. Any questions on who's a man and who isn't?
Let me buy the man a drink.
What'd you bring me here for?
Want to show you something?
I got a headache.
Yeah? Maybe this will cure it. Some of your relatives, Jeff. Pete, Joe, Mike. Some of the Caswells. There's Lem and Bert, Dan, Eddie. This is a particularly interesting one. Terry Wayne, 1881. He wasn't either a Harper or a Caswell. Came out here from St. Louis with his wife and 2 kids to make his fortune. Got a job with the Caswells. 2 days later, he was killed in a Harper ambush. He didn't even know what he died for. Is that the tradition you've come back for?
Don't you think I'm sick of this whole thing? I don't want to kill Caswell. I just came back to sell my land. I want to go to California, where nobody's ever heard of the Caswells or the Harpers. Everybody starts pushing me around. Even you.
I can only act on what a man does and says.
You still think I'm a killer?
It's Caswell that needs reassuring.
Oh, no. No, not as long as he's got Ashley. And the feud goes on and on.
You can stop it.
How?
By telling Caswell just what you told me.
You wouldn't believe me.
Look, he's stubborn, but he's not stupid. You can get through to him if you really want to.
Well, I'll give it a try.
That's close enough.
Take it easy, Sam. You want to talk, not shoot. Put your gun away.
Stay where you are. Speak your piece and then get off my property.
Caswell, who told you I was coming back here to kill you?
You did. 5 years ago. Everyone knows the Harpers always make good their threats.
Did you ever figure that maybe everyone could be wrong?
You're a Harper.
You're a Caswell. What's that guiding us?
It'll get you some lead if you don't clear out.
I wouldn't live in the same town with you. I just came back here to sell my land and get as far away from you as possible.
I'm not stopping you.
Yeah, but your gunfighter is.
Ashley, what about him?
Trying to force Jeff into a shootout.
That wasn't in our agreement. I only hired him for protection.
Protection from what? A man who hasn't touched a gun in 5 years? Or did you think they'd let me practice in jail?
I never liked Ashley when I saw him. Well, that puts a different light on things, don't it?
Better get rid of him before there's serious trouble, Sam.
All right. Just the same, I'm wearing a gun from now on. And I'll keep on wearing it as long as you're in Tombstone. And don't worry about Ashley. I'll ride into town with you right now and handle him.
Come in. No offense, boys, just practicing.
Man could get killed that way, huh?
Yes, that's a fact, isn't it? Drink?
Sheriff and I got things straightened out with Harper, so I won't be needing you anymore. Here's your fee. You can count it.
You wouldn't cheat me. Just drop it on the bureau. Had a nice town here, Sheriff.
There's a westbound stage leaving this afternoon.
And one tomorrow afternoon, and one the day after, and one the day after that. Why the hurry?
Look, Ashley, there's nothing to keep you here.
You're wrong. Both of you. See, Harper said things that no man's ever said to me.
It was the whiskey talking.
I don't see it that way. I don't see it that way at all. See, until I get things settled up with Harper, I'm not leaving Tombstone.
Some people with that attitude have stayed here permanently. Up on Boot Hill.
The afternoon of October 28, 1886, marked the end of the Harper-Caswell feud and the beginning of more trouble.
Well, don't let me disturb you.
You're not.
Just thought you might like to see a proof of next week's headline. Sheriff Hollister ends Harper-Caswell feud.
Might be a better headline in the making.
Now, Clay, I can't be resetting type every half an hour.
You seen Jerry Harper around?
And he was with Elmer Fern trying to make a deal on his land.
Harris, do me a favor, will you?
You name it.
Keep an eye on Harper.
You expecting trouble from him?
No, but he may walk into it.
Well, I thought the feud was over.
It is. But Chuck Ashley's still in town. Let me know for a sign of trouble.
All right.
Hollister,
Yeah?
aren't you going to do anything about Ashley?
He hasn't committed a crime yet.
What are you going to do? Wait until he kills somebody?
I'll take care of Ashley when I think it's the proper time.
I'm telling you, the time is now.
I'm getting real tired of you, Caswell. You make a mess and then you expect other people to clean it up for you.
That's your job, Hollister. That's what you're paid for.
Clay!
I can recommend that gun highly. It's a veteran. Pick it up.
$10 Harper refuses.
$10 says he don't.
What are you waiting for? Your nursemaid to come pick it up for you? I've heard it said that the Harpers are a fighting family. Are you sure your name is Harper? Leave it alone!
Turn around, slowly.
I see your nursemaid got here in time.
I said turn. Hand me a gun.
There's no law in Tombstone that says a man can't carry his gun.
There is now for you.
I get $500 a job. What's your salary?
I'm waiting for your gun.
It always seems to narrow down to you and me, doesn't it, Sheriff? Harper I want, not a substitute.
Get it, Jeff. The other one.
Your luck can't last.
That westbound stage is due in half an hour. You're going to be on it, as my guest.
I don't leave without my guns.
You get him at the stage.
That means that I've got 30 minutes to make my mind up, right?
I don't care how long you think about it, but you're going to be on that stage.
Well, boys, I've got a pocket full of silver and 30 minutes to spend it in. Who'll join me in the Oriental?
I was going to pick up that gun.
I know. I saw you go for it.
So did I, Jeff.
Some people will say that I saw you coming, that it was just an empty gesture.
It doesn't matter what they say.
Yes, it does. It does to me. You've left me no choice, Sheriff. I'm going to have to prove them wrong. Harper, 1882. I watched him die, Sheriff. Uriah was a big man, a big laugh, a big capacity for life. He used to say, when you die, die well. He died well. He took on 3 Caswells all by himself.
A man can die well and still die for the wrong things.
Well, pride isn't one of them. I can't live without pride.
Yeah. Neither could they, and not one of them lived past the age of 40.
You're not going to talk me out of this, Sheriff.
Jeff, you haven't handled a gun in 5 years. You take on Ashley, that's not bravery, that's suicide.
Yeah, maybe you mean well. But I don't need a nursemaid anymore.
All right, Jeff. From now on, Tombstone's out of bounds for you. You set 1 foot in town before Ashley leaves, I'm slapping you in jail.
Believe me, Hollister, I didn't expect all this fuss. I was only trying to protect myself against Harper. I'm 55 years old, Hollister. Life becomes more precious to you as you get older.
Harper's 24. Don't you think life's precious to him, too?
Well, it's a dog-eat-dog world. I know if there's any real trouble, you'll take care of it.
Thanks.
Stage is pulling in. I hear the smart money is betting that Ashley won't be taking it.
Well, boys, do I take the stage or don't I?
$30 says Ashley don't take it.
$60 says he does.
All ready?
May I have my guns, please?
Certainly.
You just made yourself a big mistake, Sheriff.
Something wrong, Ashley?
There were bullets in these guns when I gave them to you.
Oh. Buy yourself a new supply in Tucson. Let's go.
Step aside, Sheriff. I've got some unfinished business with Ashley.
You're wasting your time, Jeff. There are no bullets in his guns.
Get out of the way.
I'm telling you the truth, Jeff.
You're through telling me anything. Now step aside.
Look, there's no point in challenging an unarmed man.
Look, for the last time, I don't want to shoot you down, too.
Sheriff. Come on, Ashley. Come on, Sheriff. Come on, Ashley. Get him, boy. Get him.
There you go, boy.
Satisfied, Caswell? Earned my paycheck this month?
That was pretty neat shooting, Sheriff.
Well, I've had 5 years more practice than you have. But you gonna need this in California?
Yeah, I probably would. That's why I've decided to stay here.
I guess it's better to bury feuds instead of men. Will you join us in a drink at the Oriental?
No, thank you. That doesn't come under the heading of official business.
Alistair, you're getting to be as hot-tempered as I am. I never saw you beat anybody the way you beat up Ashley. What came over you?
Well, it's easy. Every time I hit Ashley, I thought about you.
Guess I deserve that. Let's go down and get that drink and see if we can get to know each other.
Well, Harris, what's your new headline for next week's Epitaph?
It's 3 days till deadline. Knowing you, I think I'd better just wait and see.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
1885. The Birdcage Theater had just ended the successful engagement of the fabulous Miss Anita Torson.
Well, help me. We have to catch that stage.
Well, if you'd get rid of some of these silly costumes.
Well, they're not so silly. This is the dress I was wearing in Virginia City when you came backstage and introduced yourself.
Well, they're not too silly. What's wrong?
Nothing. I've just heard a lot of broken promises.
Oh, of marriage? Well, the promise is in the future, and it's almost within reach.
After this?
Come on. We got to get that stage.
Oh, sure. If it isn't running for a stagecoach, it's running for something else. It's the sheriff. Hurry, get out of here. Well, I'm glad to see someone. Would you help me, please, Sheriff?
Help you?
The dray man hasn't come yet, and I'm going to be late for the stagecoach.
Well, I've asked the stage to wait for a few minutes while I had a word with you.
Oh, I suppose you want my autograph.
No, ma'am, I have something to give you.
Well, how nice. What a surprise. What is it?
Warrant for your arrest.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory.
What kind of nonsense is this? If you're making a joke, it's a stupid one.
It's no joke, ma'am. In the last 6 months, there have been 8 stagecoach robberies. Question is where the loot's hidden. The authorities in Tucson seem to think you might have the answer.
Well, I suppose you think it's hidden on me.
No, ma'am, not on you. In your trunk.
Oh, now, Sheriff. I'm sorry I lost my temper, but, well, this is ridiculous, and I'm in such a hurry. See? Nothing but costumes. Now, can I go?
Surely, ma'am, as soon as I finish searching.
Very well, then, search. Oh, this is so embarrassing. And we're wasting such valuable time, and the stagecoach is...
We'll wait.
The dresses. May I see that one, please?
Let go of it.
That about all of it? You might as well tell me.
Why?
Miss Torson, you'll be facing a trial in Tucson. If you cooperate, it might be easier for you. You see, about all I know is that the leader in these holdups is a man by the name of Boone Cahill. But I don't even know what he looks like. You do.
That's your problem, Sheriff.
All right. But it's quite a stage trip to Tucson. Maybe you'll change your mind on the way.
I'm getting off at Benson.
Tucson.
All right. But it is a long ride to Tucson, and you just might meet Boone Cahill along the way. You'll spot him all right, because he'll be the one shooting at you.
Can't hold it up any longer, Sheriff. I'm way behind schedule now.
Well, you just have to make up time then.
If you say so. You want me to put that on top of the rest of the baggage?
No, keep it with me.
Going to be a little crowded, Sheriff, but I didn't know you was going to make this trip.
Crowded is right. Say, you know either one of those two men?
No, neither one. Why?
I just thought you might. Let's roll.
Get up, Brownie!
You're, Sheriff Clay Hollister.
That's right.
Dr. Davis from San Mateo.
Nice to meet you.
You know, you're pretty well known around Arizona.
Hello, Gorman. Pleasure to see you again, Sheriff.
Oh, you two know each other.
I spent 6 months in a Tombstone jail, courtesy of Sheriff Clay Hollister.
You're a lucky man. Majority vote was to hang you.
I know. You just called me a tin horn, threw me in. I'm grateful. I only hope someday I can show you how grateful.
Gentlemen, we got a long trip together. Let's all calm down.
You're right, Doc.
Absolutely. And you know, with this Boone Cahill gang running loose, I'm just as happy to have a lawman along. I just hope it's going to be a peaceful journey. Good to have your company. You and Mrs. Hollister.
Gentlemen, this lady is my prisoner. So during our stops, I'd appreciate it if you neither spoke to nor approached her. Sorry if that sounds unfriendly, but it's the way it's got to be.
Of course, Sheriff. You're only doing your duty.
Why, sure. Aren't you afraid she might escape? Healthy woman like that? And only one sheriff to handle her.
You just remember what I said, Gorman.
Well, it's going to be a long trip. Good night.
That was a very impressive speech, Sheriff. Afraid there might be a gentleman on the stagecoach who might try and help me.
Doesn't it come through to you that their problem is to make sure that you don't testify? There's only one way that they can make sure.
Well, I'm not worried, so don't try to frighten me. Besides, I don't want to betray my...
Betray your friend? The gentleman that killed an unarmed stage agent? The friendly fellow that pistol-whipped the passenger to death?
Boone Cahill never murdered anyone.
Would you care to talk to the agent's widow or his kids?
I don't care to talk at all.
transport up ahead. Must be some trouble. Stopping for him.
Well, no, you're not.
We've got to stop or we'll run right through them.
It'll be just fine. We keep on rolling.
Oh, no, we don't. Whoa!
Let's see you drive.
Yeah!
What's going on?
I don't know.
You gone loco, Sheriff? Fellas must be stopped for a reason.
I agree.
If we don't stop, we're going to run right through them.
That's the idea.
No, don't shoot. We'll only rile him.
Slow him now.
Rest him up that way station up ahead. Give him a drink.
I can stand one myself.
That was a close call.
Huh? That was close.
You'll never know.
It is going to be a long trip.
The afternoon of August 12, 1885. A way station on the road to Tucson, a destination that some of the people were not to reach alive.
Who were they back there?
Highwaymen?
Yeah, or Boone Cahill's bunch. Same thing.
Would have been wiser to stop and be robbed. Might have all been shot.
We weren't. Say, you got a little drink in there? Yeah. You can also get food. Well, you go to your church and I'll go to mine. Driver, you gonna water your horses?
After I get a drink.
You stay with me. We'll water the horses.
How very romantic. I'm starving. You think more of animals than you do of people?
Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. One thing, animals don't try to knife you. Everybody up here to the center of the room.
Gorman? Were you speaking to me, Sheriff?
Keep your hands clear and give me your gun. This man go out?
Yeah, he sure did. Out back with the rest of us to wash up.
Yeah. Well, somebody tried to knife me out there. One of you. I don't know which one, so I want all of your guns. I'll sit on them for the rest of the trip.
Well, you're swinging a lot of weight for a man that's out of his territory, Sheriff.
He's right. I'm supposed to have the say-so on this trip.
Why, Clay, you seem to be getting unpopular.
Sorry, Sheriff, but without some authority...
You see my authority.
Yeah, if you put it that way.
That's the way I put it.
Well, I'm going out.
Sure, friend. Just as soon as you give me your gun.
Yeah? Well, listen. I am tired of taking your orders, Bucko. Just who do you think you are telling me what to do?
Why, didn't you know? This is the great Clay Hollister. Claims he's the toughest man in Arizona Territory.
Him? Oh, listen. You take off them irons and I'll break you in two.
This sounds more interesting than food.
Sorry, I'm a peace officer. I'll have to forego that pleasure. Your gun.
Drop it, Clay. Drop it. Come on, now, I've got him. Are you out of your mind?
Why, no. I just don't like seeing my old friend Clay Hollister shot down.
You surprise me, Gorman.
After he threw you in jail and called you a tin horn?
That he did, lady. But he also did something else. He kept a mob from stretching my neck. I don't like you, Hollister, but I pay my debts.
Fair enough.
I did get bounced around a bit, and I'd like to even that out, too. So, my hairy friend, if you'd like to bounce the sheriff around a little, go right ahead.
What? Oh, sure.
Are you sure you want to play it this way, Gorman?
Quite sure. You've got a big reputation, Hollister. I want to be impressed.
Come on, old man.
Very well, Sheriff. You win all the marbles.
Thanks. All right, now you can all go outside as soon as you check your guns. Driver?
Yeah.
Search them.
You mean the lady, too?
No, I've already had that pleasure. Doctor.
As you wish. But I want it back when we get to Tucson.
Next.
All right, prize fighter. On your feet.
I ain't no prize fighter.
Yes, we know.
Hey, what are you? Miner or an arsenal?
Oh, man has to protect himself in Arizona.
Yeah, he's right, Sheriff.
All right, let's go. It was a nice try you made,
Thanks.
but a hopeless one. Can't you get it through your head that all Cahill wants is you dead?
That's a lie.
Why do you think they shot at the stage?
I'm not interested. Sorry.
All right, I'll do it my way. Cahill! Boone Cahill, I'm talking to you. One of you is a murderer. The next stop is Tucson. When we get there, you're a dead man.
But, Sheriff, I thought you said you didn't know who Cahill was.
I didn't, but I do now.
I didn't tell you a thing.
That's all right. You're safe now. There are no more stops between here and Tucson.
I know what you're trying to do, but I didn't tell you anything.
What are you so nervous about? I thought you said you weren't afraid of Cahill.
I'm not.
Then you've got nothing to worry about.
Look here, Sheriff. We all know what you're trying to do. Forces Cahill to make a move. But personally, I can't approve of the way you're going about it.
Tell me, what's your interest?
Why?
Open the bag.
Now, what is this?
You say you're a doctor.
Well, of course. Everybody knows Dr. Davis.
Well, let's see what you know. Empty it.
Sheriff, may I suggest... You know, you're nervous and a little overwrought. I think these pills will fix you up just fine.
No, thank you.
Did you think I was your gunman?
Just being careful. Empty the bag.
You know, it's a funny thing.
Honest, Clay, honest. I didn't know he was one of them.
You did just fine. Better get this stage moving. We'll be late for your trial.
You're not going to get away with this, Sheriff. You just wait till the boys...
Cahill's dead. Little gang's finished, and so are you. Gorman, you're now a deputy.
Well, okay, Sheriff. As long as you promise not to let anybody find out.
I guess that makes me the driver. Well, Anita, how do you feel? You ready to face your trial?
I guess. It's almost worth it to be clear and out of all of this. I'll survive it somehow. Before I go in, I have one last request.
Well, what?
Well, half hour ago, I was hungry. Now I'm as starved as a timber wolf in a blizzard.
Miss Torson, when we get to Tucson, I personally am going to buy you the biggest dinner in town.
Thanks.
My pleasure. I won't even bill it to the territory.
Rowdy.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
Disappeared.
Any mail, Bert?
Just your pension check. It's a good thing we get that check of yours every month. We wouldn't be able to operate this hole.
Yeah, it's been anything but a jackpot. Bert, give me a tenth of what I paid for my share of the mine, and I'll go back east where I belong.
Deal's a deal, Cooley. We'll hit pay dirt.
I'm tired. I want out. $300 a month for the rest of my life? What do I want with more? I'm getting out if I have to give it away.
You ain't running out on me. We're partners.
Not in this yarn. I'm leaving, Bert. I won't hold it against you for misrepresenting the mine.
You ain't going nowhere.
What are you going to do?
I figure to collect $300 every month. Now, give me that check.
You can't cash my checks.
I can write your name as good as you can.
Sheriff Clay Hollister was returning to Tombstone. He heard a distant shot. Could have come from any one of the wild canyons. From any mule deer in the mountains. It could have been a hunter. He rode on. An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. Late afternoon, August 12, 1881. I had a pretty visitor. Oh, Clay! Clay?
Oh, Harris, what is it?
Come in a minute.
What's trouble?
No trouble that I know of. Miss Nancy Cooley, this is Clay Hollister.
Miss Cooley.
Hello, Mr. Hollister.
Miss Cooley just came west from Philadelphia to locate her uncle, C.J. Cooley.
Oh?
He's my only living relative. He came to Tombstone for his health. How is he?
Oh, well, I haven't seen him recently. He spends most of his time at the Jackpot Mine. He seldom gets into town.
His partner, Bert Foster, usually gets the supplies and picks up the mail.
What kind of a man is Mr. Foster?
Oh, he's a gold miner, an ex-cattleman.
I'm worried about my uncle. He hasn't been answering my letters recently.
Well, that is kind of funny. I've heard him speak of you many times, how he'd like to do something for you if things went well.
Have they?
Well, sometimes old Mother Earth doesn't like to show us where she keeps her valuables hidden.
Mr. Hollister, can you help me get to the mine?
Well, I'd be glad to, but it's quite a distance. It's a little late to start today. I'll get a rig and pick you up tomorrow.
Thank you both. I'll be at Russ House. Thank you.
Goodbye, Miss Cooley. Ex-cattleman. Well, I guess there's no point in telling her that you arrested Bert Foster for cattle rustling a couple of years ago.
No point. Besides, nothing was ever definitely proved.
A lot of dirt never gets cleaned up. Bert never forgave you for that.
I never forgave myself for not getting him convicted. Be good seeing Bert again.
It'll be good to see Nancy again. Beautiful girl. Of course, you could send her out with one of your deputies. But I guess our sheriff likes his sheriffing.
You could be right.
Cheated you, you old buzzard.
Call again. You back again so soon, Bert?
Had to come in for old Cooley. Fill this.
Yeah, usual sack of flour and sugar. Work pants size 38. Pound of jawbreakers. Cooley and his sweet tooth, eh?
A box of 45s.
And a box of 45s. I'll get it together.
Hello, Bert. Just coming out to your place.
What for?
Cooley's niece is in town. She wants to see him.
Never heard of any niece.
I thought I'd take her out.
Well, if she wants to see old Cooley, she'll have to wait till he gets back from prospecting. Maybe a week, maybe longer.
Oh? You're not working the jackpot?
Well, that's none of your business, Sheriff. But it ain't unusual for old Cooley to go out looking for new diggings.
Here's everything on Cooley's list, Bert. Jawbreakers and all.
Jawbreakers?
Cooley has them set out by the bushel.
Well, Bert, what do you want me to tell the girl? She may still want me to take her out and have a look around.
Don't, Sheriff. If you don't stop meddling in my affairs, you may just give me the excuse I've been looking for.
You all ready for the trip?
Mm-hmm. I want to see more of Arizona. It's fascinating.
Oh, that's good. And it won't be a waste of time even if we don't see your uncle.
What do you mean?
Oh, Bert said that he'd be gone for a week prospecting.
Prospecting? Well, that really worries me. Unless his health is improved, he wouldn't be able to stand it. He doesn't need the money.
Well, I heard he sunk quite a chunk of it into the mine.
He still has a pension check, $300 a month for life.
That makes him a very valuable asset to Bert.
Beautiful.
What, that sign?
No, Arizona. Complete freedom.
Hop, babe, hop. Come on. Hop, 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 hop. Oh, babe.
Could be he doesn't know who we are. You stay put.
Hold your fire, Bert. It's Hollister. I'm coming in with Miss Cooley.
Come ahead.
I'll pitch the rifle.
What's up, babe?
Oh, babe.
I didn't know it was you, Sheriff. You could have got yourself killed just like any other trespassers.
Well, you're either a bad shot or you're lying.
Has my uncle returned?
No. I told you it'd be a week, maybe longer.
Maybe you'd like to leave a note in the bunkhouse, Nancy.
I'd love to.
Go ahead.
Seems just like Mr. Foster says.
Yeah, looks that way.
I guess I'm foolish to worry about my uncle.
We better get back to Tombstone after I have a talk with Bert.
Clay, why doesn't Mr. Foster like you?
Well, we had some trouble one time. Come on.
Satisfied?
Yeah, I'm satisfied that Mr. Cooley isn't here now. But it seems to me that if a man were going prospecting, he'd sure let his partner know where.
Where do you think he went?
Well, why don't you ask him when he gets back? I ain't curious.
When he does get back, tell him I'm waiting in town.
Well, he doesn't go to town anymore. Trip tires him out.
Oh? But he's still strong enough to go prospecting for a week.
Well, that's different. When you're after gold.
Yeah.
Anyway, miss, when I see him, I'll tell him.
Don't you mean if you see him?
What are you trying to say, Sheriff?
All I'm saying is that if Cooley doesn't show up soon, I'll be back to find out why.
August 15, 1881. 2 days passed with no sign of C.J. Cooley.
Hi, Harris.
Clay, I've become very interested in Nancy Cooley, too.
Oh?
Well, after all, I am a reporter.
Yeah.
Look at this. I asked her to let me see the last letter she received from her uncle. And I thought there might be some clue. Well, nothing of real importance in any of them, just this one line.
I don't know whether the jackpot will pan out or not, but I'd better stay with it as I'm getting too old to look for new diggings. Yeah, I see what you mean. So you're a pretty good reporter.
Yeah, I know. But Bert Foster isn't telling all he knows.
Yeah, I'd already figured that out. Let's take this over to the bank. Mr. Bradley, did Bert Foster cash Cooley's pension check here a couple of days ago?
Well, he does it often. Anything wrong, Clay?
Maybe. Have you still got the check?
Yeah, it was going east in the mail today. Let's see.
We suspect a forgery, Jim.
Looked all right to me. Took for granted it was Cooley's signature.
What do you think now?
Does look a mite wobbly. Let's check it against his signature when he opened his account. Here someplace. There it is. Well, now. Does look kind of fishy at that.
That's enough to go on.
Had we better tell Nancy what we suspect?
Oh, his niece. I saw her right out that way this morning, just as I was opening the bank.
Clay reasoned that if Bert had murdered Cooley, he wouldn't hesitate to kill Nancy. Gravely concerned about her uncle, Nancy Cooley had rented a horse early that morning and started for the mine alone. She had a good 3-hour start when Clay rode out in a race against time and death. Noon, August 15, 1881.
Where's the sheriff?
Well, I thought it best to come alone. Knowing there's bad blood between you two, I didn't tell Clay I was coming. Mr. Foster, I've got to know about my uncle.
I told you he ain't here.
But you must know where he went and if he's all right.
Just what are you after? His money? It's all sunk in that mine. This pension check ain't gonna do you no good, because that stops when he dies.
It isn't his money. I came west to be with him, to help him if he needs me.
I don't reckon he needs you.
He does if he's ill.
Old Cooley's the last one in the world who would need a doctor.
Why do you laugh?
Oh, it just struck me as comical. Slip of a girl like you riding all the way out here alone just because she's worried about her uncle. You don't ride very well either, do you?
Why? What about it?
That horse might run away with you. You'll get lost. Miss Cooley, how would you like me to take you to your uncle?
That's why I'm here.
Can't do no harm. Tell you what you do. You go in the bunkhouse and get that sack of jawbreakers while I get a canteen of water. Sure took your time.
I was looking for anything else my uncle might need.
I'll put those in my saddlebag.
I can manage him.
You'll have your hands full with the horse.
I'll manage if you'll help me up.
Where'd you get this?
I thought my uncle had forgotten it.
Old Cooley never used a gun. I even forgot he had one.
Nancy! Nancy!
How much farther?
It won't be long.
Where's my uncle?
Get down. I'm going to take you to him.
You're lying.
That's right, I'm lying.
What's happened to him? Tell me.
He's dead.
Dead.
Now I'm going to have to kill you, too.
Why?
Because no one will know, and old Cooley's pension checks will keep right on rolling in. Of course, I'll make it look like an accident, like your horse ran away and you hit your head on that limb.
Let it go, Bert!
Let the girl come out.
Come in and get her.
You've already got a murder charge against you, Bert.
You can only hang me once.
Come on out or I'm coming in after you.
Come on in, but don't shoot. I'm out of shells.
Look out, Clay. He has another gun.
You old son of a gun.
Thanks. I better get him back to Tombstone. I'll come out tomorrow and pick up your uncle's things.
I'll come with you.
Have to get Cooley moved up to Boot Hill.
Yeah, I'll send the boys out tomorrow. Your uncle always said he wanted to do something for you, but I'm afraid he didn't leave very much, just these and a jackpot without any gold in it.
He did something for me. He brought me to Arizona.
Do you really like it?
Then you're not going back to Philadelphia.
There were a lot of people there, but I was all alone in the city.
Well, I'll ride back.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
I said half in advance. I meant spending money, not this.
Would you prefer I contact someone else, Mr. Reardon? Well?
He'll be on a slab before dark tomorrow. Look, I know it ain't no business of mine, but what do you got against Hollister?
Nothing at all. I hardly know the man. I merely wanted to find out what would happen if two such men as you and Sheriff Hollister met on even terms.
You saying you want me to call him out gun to gun?
Well, I'm not paying you $500 to shoot him in the back. As a matter of fact, you're missing a golden opportunity. I saw him downstairs in the lobby just now.
You're loco, Plum, dog loco.
Well, that's the way it has to be, face to face. You do want the other half of that bill, don't you?
You want that kind of shootout, you do it yourself. Come to think of it, I don't have to shoot nobody for the other half of this bill. Unless it's you.
I underestimated you, Mr. Reardon. Of course, I'll pay you. So I'm glad you came, Sheriff. I think I killed him.
All right, get back to your rooms.
He is dead, isn't he?
Yeah, he's dead. Maybe you better tell me what happened.
Well, he forced his way into my room at gunpoint and tried to rob me. I had to do it. Poor fellow.
Well, this poor fellow just happens to be Deke Reardon, a known killer. Could be you've done the territory a favor. Good heavens.
Tombstone Territory. An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Doesn't look counterfeit.
Might as well be. It's not worth a nickel without the missing half. Just a piece of paper. Unless Reardon knew that he was going to get the rest of the bill.
Well, it's too late now. Just goes to prove you can't take it with you.
Harris, what do you know about Armbruster?
One of Europe's foremost journalists. Out here to do a series of articles on the American frontier. Well, you know all that. What's bothering you, Clay? Why all the questions?
Something just doesn't sit right. Reardon wasn't a thief. He was a hired gun, a professional killer.
Are you suggesting he wanted to kill Armbruster?
Could be.
Well, I've heard some wild-haired things in my day, but this one tops the list. Your own words prove you're wrong. You said that Reardon was a hired gun, right?
Right.
Well, a hired killer has to be hired. Whoever does the hiring usually has a reason for wanting somebody killed. Now, who would want to have Armbruster killed?
Whoever has the other part of this.
And the reason? Whoever this mysterious somebody is, he must have some reason.
Well, one of my customers.
All right. That judge said I was supposed to hang, Sheriff, not starve to death.
All right, anything special you want?
Yeah, a hacksaw and a gun.
Will you settle for a steak? Chicken?
Fried chicken?
Fried chicken.
Harlan?
Yeah, he's hungry.
When are you taking him up to Prescott?
In the morning. Harris, will you do me a favor? Will you talk to Armbruster, kind of feel him out? If somebody has ill will against him, he'll know who.
Yeah, I'll talk to him. I'll take him to dinner tonight, and I'll ask him if he knows who wants him dead for $500. You'll probably hear him laughing all the way here from the hotel.
All right, I'll be listening.
Thank you. That'll be all.
You know, come to think of it, there is one possibility.
You mean there is someone who might want to have you shot? Well, who, man? Who?
Well, he's threatened me repeatedly. Never imagined that...
Well, for heaven's sake, Armbruster, who is it?
My foreign editor. He's warned me that he'd have me shot on numerous occasions for not honoring deadlines.
Well, right now, I don't blame him. I'll report that to Hollister.
You're quite friendly with the sheriff, aren't you?
Oh, we get along most of the time.
You know, I read an article that you did on that Harlan case. You covered it very thoroughly last September, I think.
October 3rd to 7th.
Do you think you could prevail upon the noble sheriff to let me interview the Howland boy?
Well, I'm afraid you're a little late for that. Sheriff's leaving with him in the morning for the capital.
Well, it's still quite early. How about tonight?
Well, I don't know. Maybe. Clay's funny about things like that. Boys under a death sentence. Why do you want to see him?
Well, I intend to devote a whole series of articles on the sudden and violent deaths brought about by the criminal element in your great American West.
Well, let's go. I'll ask him.
Thank you, my dear colleague.
My pleasure, my dear colleague.
Well, the first couple of times, it's kind of scary, I guess. Because you never know whether that other fella might not be a little faster than you are. But then after a while, all that scariness just goes away. Gets real easy. Gets to be just like it was nothing. Nothing at all. And I could take any of them without even trying to, because I was top gun. You hear me, mister? Top gun. Nobody in this whole world can take Danny Harlan. Nobody.
It wasn't the money, was it, Harlan? You would have been the same without money, wouldn't you? You had to kill so you'd feel bigger and better than men, wiser and smarter than yourself. Isn't that the truth? You had to kill. Your miserable little ego demanded it. Isn't that right?
You let me alone. Go on, get out of here and let me alone.
What's wrong, Harlan? You afraid? Does the thought of the noose frighten you?
Shut up, will you? Will you just get out and shut up?
Don't whisper, Harlan. You're tough. You're a killer. People fear you. A man like you should roar, not whisper. You're a tiger, Harlan. You were a tiger when you were killing other men. Are you going to die like a bleating lamb?
I'll kill you! You hear me? I'll kill you!
That's it, Harlan. A tiger. Not a bleating lamb who's terrified of the butcher's steel. Die as you lived, Harlan, and 3 million people will read about your death and remember. Don't disappoint them, Harlan. Don't let them realize you were really a terrified sheep at heart who masqueraded as a tiger. We must help them believe what we want them to believe, Harlan. Don't let them down. Don't let them down.
"300 miles of rugged mountain country. May not be Khyber Pass, but we have a healthy respect for it.
He's right, Armbruster. I've been through that country. It's no Sunday canter in the park.
A little inconvenience is a small price to pay for a good article. It'd be interesting to compare the hangings at your territorial capital with those at our prisons in England.
Look, Mr. Armbruster, it's my job to get this man to Prescott, not run guided tours. The answer is still no. I'm sorry.
Look, Sheriff.
Good night, gentlemen. I'll get my sleep.
Newspaper men.
Good evening, Mr. Armbruster.
Why, Dr. Froelich, this is a surprise. It's a long way from St. Louis. What brings you here to Tombstone?
You, Mr. Armbruster.
Well, surely my article on your most excellent sanitarium wasn't that bad.
Your description of the mental processes of some of my psychopathic cases was very interesting.
Thank you.
As a matter of fact, so interesting that I made it a point to acquire and read more of your writings.
You flatter me.
Flattery is not my intention, Mr. Armbruster. I haven't traveled 1,000 miles for that. You made a gentleman's agreement that you would remain in my care. Since you won't help yourself, I have come to help you.
Help me?
You're a very sick man, and you're aware of your sickness. It shows like a beacon in your writing.
Look here, Dr. Froelich.
No layman could have the inside of the criminal mind, such as you described in your article, unless he himself experienced such urges and pressures.
I appreciate your concern, Doctor, but I haven't the time to discuss it now. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have things to do.
I had hoped you would be cooperative. Come back to my sanitarium and let me help you.
It's getting late, Doctor. Do you mind?
Then I will have to help you despite of yourself, Mr. Armbruster.
And what do you mean by that?
I shall be forced to have you brought there.
I'm sorry you had to say that.
Let go! Let go!
What do you think you're doing? I regret the necessity of this, Doctor. I'd regret being committed to an institution even more.
July 5, 1887. Dan Harlan started on his final journey, 300 miles, to end with a 6-foot drop through the gallows trap.
Good morning, gentlemen.
I thought I told you I didn't want you along. I meant it.
I have no doubt of that, Sheriff, but as you Americans are so fond of declaiming, this is a free country.
Well, you're persistent.
Old world tenacity, Sheriff.
All right. I guess I can't keep you from tagging along, but there's no law says I got to nursemaid you. You're on your own.
Of course.
What, he's going with us? Like he says, it's a free country. Hold down the town. Let's go.
Well, have a good trip, men.
I fully intend to.
Oh, yeah. Swell trip.
Make it a little easier for you.
Run in front. I told you I wasn't going to nursemaid you, but you better save that. We got a long way to go to the next water hole.
You know, there's no sensation in the world like bagging your first tiger. You've never seen a Bengal tiger, have you, Sheriff?
Oh, tiger. Well, I've seen lots of mountain lions, but no tigers.
Oh, it's no comparison. In my opinion, the Bengal tiger is the king of beasts. Comparing him with an American mountain lion is like comparing a wolf to a lamb. I've always admired these wild creatures that struggle so fiercely for their freedom, preferring death to submission. No Judas goat leads them meekly to the butcher's blade. If they have to die, they die fighting. And I've known more than one that escaped what was thought to be certain death or capture.
Yeah, I suppose so. Come on, Harlan, finish it up. It's time to roll in.
see them anywhere? They can't have strayed very far.
Yeah. Over there. You get breakfast started while I round him up. Keep an eye on him.
All right. Well, are we a tiger this morning or a little lamb being led to the slaughter? Speaking of tigers, they need claws, don't they? Well, I'm waiting for your answer.
I ain't no stinking sheep, mister. You just let me get my hands on that gun, I'll show you what I am right off.
I might do that, under certain conditions.
You funning me. Maybe I ain't so smart, mister, but I ain't loco neither. You let me alone, you understand? You just let me alone.
You stupid little swine, keep your mouth shut and listen. That's better. Much better. One bullet. Make it count. You'll have money, a horse, and be over the border before the authorities know of your escape.
All that money in one little piece of paper.
Beat Hollister and you'll get the rest. If you lose, it won't matter.
I ain't gonna lose, because I've been practicing drawing from the belt since I was 10.
Here, take it. That one bullet must get Hollister if you want to escape the rope. Remember that. If he lives, nothing can save you.
Well, he ain't gonna live. And you can bet on that.
You might say I already have. Now make it look convincing. You're a tiger, Harlan, remember? A tiger.
Yeah, that's right. Tiger. What are you waiting for, Sheriff? Come on in. We got a little talking to do.
You haven't got a chance, Harlan. I got the horses and the key to your leg iron. You're playing a losing game. Now let Mr. Armbruster go and pitch the gun.
Ha! I got nothing but a noose waiting for me. No matter what happens, I can't be no worse off. I'll make a deal with you. We fight it out, man to man. I'll put my gun in my belt, then you step out and we draw, even. What about it, Sheriff? You got the nerve to try me?
All I gotta do is wait, Harlan.
Well, what about the newspaper gent? You forgetting him? I got a hanging out already, so it ain't gonna hurt me none if I blow his head off. Make up your mind, Sheriff.
All right. Turn him loose.
You let go of me, Sheriff.
Harlan's gun in his belt?
It's in his belt.
All right. I'm coming out. Go ahead. Make your play.
Is it bad?
No, it's just bloody. How about him?
Dead.
What happened, Armbruster? Seems like you gave him his chance to die a little sooner.
For the life of me, I couldn't say. One moment I was walking past him, the next he had my throat in a death grip, and my gun in his hand. Let's get that wound dressed.
bandages in my saddlebag.
What is it, Sheriff?
Who did you expect to get killed, Armbruster? Or didn't it matter to you?
I'm afraid I don't follow your meaning.
I wasn't altogether wrong about Reardon up in your hotel room, was I? Who was he supposed to kill to get this half?
You, Sheriff. Nothing personal, of course. It was just a matter of observation, so that my writings could have that touch of realism for which they're so famous.
You'd pay to have a man killed just so you could watch it and then write about it?
Of course. But in doing so, I bring this moment of torment. Vicariously, of course, to 3 million readers, a fitting tribute for any man.
Well, it's too bad they won't be able to read your account of your own hanging.
I'm sorry, Sheriff, but I have other plans. First, I had to kill Reardon, then Dr. Froelich.
Dr. Froelich?
Oh, yes, I'm sure his body's already been found in an alley in Tombstone. Now, Sheriff, it's your turn. I'll say goodbye. It is mortal, isn't it?
I'd say so.
One might talk about observation. If I'd been a true student of the West or of gunfighters, this would never have occurred.
How do you figure?
That other gun you wear, I thought it was just a spare, or perhaps for show. I standing with a revolver in my fist. I never could have believed you would have outdrawn me with your left hand.
It's my business. Yours was writing.
Yes, and I had a great many things wrong, it seems. You know, I have no difficulty at all in speaking, and no great sensation of pain. Just a growing weariness. Not very much to write about, after all.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
What are you doing? Adding up the day's take and fines?
Yeah, and deducting what it costs to feed the prisoners. Well, it's no wonder the jails are supported by the taxpayers. I just can't make a nickel.
You the sheriff?
That's right.
I'm from Sunglow. Logan and his gang taking over the town again.
Where's your sheriff?
Logan killed him.
Okay, put him in the chair. Well, he's not hurt.
Pure exhaustion. He'll come around.
Yeah.
Wait. I'm coming with you.
Look, Harris, this is law business, gun business.
Yes, newspaper business, too. I'm coming.
Well, all right, but you may be writing your own obituary.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. high noon of July 16, 1884, was one Sunglow wouldn't forget. Harvey Logan and his men had taken over the town. Lawless, gunslinging desperados helped themselves to anything they wanted.
Get your hands out of your pocket. Now you listen to me. My boys came to this town to have a little fun and lap up some of your hospitality. Now, ain't that clear enough?
Look here, you can't go around beating up people.
Who's going to stop us? You, Mayor?
The law, public opinion, decency. There'll be troops from Fort Huachuca here this time tomorrow.
By that time, we're going to be up in the hills. Now, why don't you people just leave me and go on about your business?
Maybe it would be better if we just went about our business, Mayor. I'm sure Mr. Logan and his men meant no harm.
No harm in terrorizing a town?
I don't like you. Now get him out of here. Now it's time for the rest of you boys to unwind. Whiskey!
Yes, sir. Play this here piano?
Yeah, I play.
Well, let's play. What's the matter? Don't you want a little drink?
Do I have a choice?
Oh, I like you.
Made a mistake about you fellas.
Oh, now, how is that?
When I first saw you, I thought you were men, but I was wrong. You're animals, all of you.
Sure we're animals, all of us.
Hey, Logan! Thought I told you to keep watching the road.
Well, I was watching all right, Logan. There's a couple of riders coming in from Tombstone way. One of them's wearing a star.
Oh. We're gonna have some company. You get back out in the street, and you make sure everybody clears that street, because we're gonna have a party, a real surprise party. Up, everybody!
We'll play later.
Now, these two riders that are coming into town, let's give them a big welcome. Come on.
Awful quiet. Yeah, like back east. That's still just before a tornado hits.
That's far enough. Well, Clay Hollister. Tell me something, boys. Did you come here to join the local sheriff in his grave?
You've got just 10 minutes to hand over his murderer and then get out, Logan.
You hear that, boys? He's putting a time limit on our fun. I'm giving you just 2 seconds to drop your guns.
This'll catch up with you, boy. Just a matter of time. You can't take over a town.
I already have. Now, you drop those guns down. Do just like I tell you, or there won't be no witnesses.
I believe you.
Get down. Hurry up!
What are you doing here, Logan?
Well, now, this ain't Tombstone, Hollister. And I ain't beholden to answer none of your questions.
Sunglow's in the county.
Yeah, I know that. But me and the boys are celebrating. And you know something? You're just in time to join the celebration. I told you to hold it. Well, that's my kind of celebrating, Mr. Hollister. Now, there's a new sheriff in the town, namely me. You go on, get him in the lockup. Take Horace Greeley with him.
Well, I still think you made a mistake not bringing a posse. Look, Harris, you ride into a town with an army, you gotta fight. A lot of townspeople get killed.
Well, what do we do now?
There's only one thing to do. Sit down, relax.
Relax.
Well, you said you wanted a story. Go ahead and write it.
How about that? Hey, you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Logan.
Send that girl over here, the one playing the pianist.
Yes, sir. Right away.
Anna, Logan would like to speak with you.
You want to see me?
Yeah, sure, I want to see you. Pull up a chair and sit down, huh?
Well, thank you.
Have a drink?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? You know, as long as you're here, you're mine, right?
Why not? Let that girl alone.
Who's gonna make me?
Mr. Logan, I know this girl. Are you just going to stand there and let that animal do this?
Oh, I promised my boys a high time, honey. You wouldn't want I should break my promise, huh?
Listen, if you want any favors from me, you do one for me. Now make him let her go.
I like a girl with spirit. All right. Hey, Denver, let her go.
What are you talking about?
I said let her go.
Come on, kid, get out of here.
You shouldn't have done that, Logan.
You want an argument about it? You get on over to jail with Chris. And don't you leave there till I told you different. Where was we, honey?
I was just about to pretty up a bit.
Hey, that's a good idea. The prettier the better.
I'll be right back.
Who is it?
A friend. I have a present for you. Pull it up.
Thanks, friend.
I'm sick of sitting here nursemaiding that sheriff while everybody else is out having fun.
Yeah, well, I ain't having no fun.
You know, we ought to run that tin-horn lawman in here and work him over but good.
Clay, hurry. Give me that stool.
Wouldn't do no harm to learn him a little respect.
You know, if we really took care of him, then we could go out and hurrah the town again.
Yeah, I like that.
They're coming in here any minute.
Let's go get him. Come on out of there, Hollister.
Come on. Hey, where'd you get that?
You haven't got a chance, Hollister.
The gun, Sheriff. Inside.
You're building a big fire, Hollister.
I like it warm. Townspeople as you can. I'll meet you in an hour over there at the general store. And have them come in the back way. Luck.
But, gentlemen, they'll be gone come morning. What's the sense in risking our lives and property?
Why, sure. Besides, they were just having a little fun.
Fun? Your sheriff's been killed. And today, a man by the name of Mabry was murdered. Would you care to tell Mrs. Mabry the boys were just having a little fun?
Well,
Don't you realize that your town's been taken over by a gang of criminals? Doesn't that mean anything to you? To any of you?
But, well, it's only for one night.
Clay, you just gotta be reasonable. What's the use of us risking our lives and our property?
That's exactly what the Romans said when the Vandals were at the gates just before they burned Rome. Well, I'm with you, Clay. All the way.
Thanks, Harris.
Sorry to be late, but it wasn't easy to get away.
Welcome. Friend?
Well, of all the nerve.
Yes, you're right, Mrs. Spence. This young lady does have more nerve and more courage than all of the rest of you put together.
Well.
Can I count on any of you?
I got a family, Clay.
A lot of you people fought Apaches when you first came out here. Now you're gonna let a bunch of yahoos take the town away from you.
The town will still be here after they ride off.
Yeah, but it won't be the same town. And you won't be the same people.
But we'll be alive, Mr. Hollister.
Don't bet on it. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. And ladies, I've had my say. You know they call Tombstone the town too tough to die? Well, they'll be calling Sunglow the town too scared to live.
Maybe I can help, Mr. Hollister.
What can a saloon woman do?
You'd be surprised, madam. I'll bet you'd be terribly surprised.
I'm listening, ma'am.
Logan tells me I'm his girl. For as long as he's here, I am. Be at my place at 10. He'll be there. Until 10, then, Mr. Hollister?
Till 10.
Denver? Chris? Come out of there!
Logan, he tricked us. He had a gun hid.
You stupid fool! Somebody passed him that gun. They'll pay for that. We came to this town to celebrate, and we're going to celebrate. And then we're going to burn it to the ground. I'm getting thirsty. Come on.
What time's getting to be here?
20 minutes of 10.
What's the matter? Something bothering you?
I have to live here. If any of the townspeople see me being too friendly with you, I won't stand a chance in Sunglow.
Don't worry about it. When we get through, there ain't going to be no town.
What do you mean?
We're going to have us a fire, a real big fire.
Logan, all This noise is giving me a terrible headache. Why don't we go somewhere, away from here? Like maybe my house. You need to get some food in you, and I'm a good cook.
That's real hospitable of you. That's what I call real hospitality. Hey, quiet, everybody. I'm gonna leave you boys for a while. Oh, and just a minute, if you see Hollister, kill him.
Just a minute. I have to let Murphy know where I'm going.
Don't keep me waiting.
Murphy? Time to stand up and be counted. They're going to burn the town. Tell Hollister he's in the general store and go in the back way. Smile, Murphy, smile.
A man can take just so much. Just so much. There she goes. Logan with her? She said he would be. Who is it?
Name's Murphy. Bartender at the saloon.
Let him in.
Anna told me you were here. They're going to burn the town, Sheriff. Before they leave, they're going to burn it.
They all over there?
All except Logan. And they're all pretty drunk.
Yeah, well, maybe we can sober them up. You got a gun behind the bar?
Yeah?
Will you use it?
I'll use it.
Good enough. You go on back there. Me and my army here will be right over.
Strange, isn't it?
What's that?
How the only two people in town willing to defend it are a saloon woman and a saloon keeper.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Turn around, drop your guns. My men are covering you.
What's the matter with you boys? He doesn't have any men. Take him.
Any more? Keep an eye on him, Harris. I'm gonna go get Logan.
All right, over with the rest of them.
Who ain't got no men?
Oh, come on, have another.
No, you don't.
Logan! Logan! Logan!
What do you want?
We got a ride. The boys are all shot up.
Why?
It's Hollister. We haven't got a chance.
Logan! Come on out with your hands in the air. Do like I say, Logan, you'll live longer.
You go around the back, we'll catch him in a crossfire.
No.
Go on, get down.
Logan! Are you coming out or am I coming in?
Supposing we settle this, Hollister. Just you and me.
All right. You've called it. Give you one more chance to throw away the gun, Logan.
You ready, Hollister?
Make your move.
Sheriff Hollister, on behalf of a grateful town, I want to thank you.
Well, Mr. Mayor, if it hadn't been for this young lady, you wouldn't have a town. How about thanking her?
Mr. Hollister, Sunglow has no place for a woman like her. She's no better than the rest of the riffraff. And the way she carried on with that outlaw. You coming, Mayor?
Yes, dear,
Mrs. Spence. There are two kinds of women in the West. There's the nice, respectable kind, like you, and there's Anna's kind of woman that just does with what she has. When a crisis came to your town, which kind got up and fought?
Well, Mayor.
Thanks again.
Anna, why don't you come to Tombstone? Make a new start.
No, Clay, it's like you said, there's her kind and my kind, and the town doesn't make any difference. Goodbye.
Goodbye, friend.
That's quite a girl. Someday they'll be writing books about women like her.
Yeah. Come on, Horace Greeley. You got a story to write.
Whistle me up a memory. Whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory. Whistle me back where I wanna be, to Tombstone territory.
His job seriously, and he was in no mood to entertain out-of-town callers.
I don't care if this man Ferguson is the president's representative. I can't talk to him now. I'm sorry, Harris. All right. I'll tell him.
Here he comes. Watch him, Joe. He's got 4 arms and a gun in each hand.
It still only takes one slug to kill him.
All right. Come on out with your hands up.
Joe, You ain't giving up without a fight after coming here to get him.
So that's Clay Hollister.
Yes. Excuse me. I'll be right back.
Looking for me, Joe?
Not anymore.
Who told you to kill me, Big Brother Ed?
Good work, Sheriff.
All right, let's get you to jail and have the doc take a look at that arm.
Sorry, Sheriff. I guess I spoke to you at the wrong time. I'm Ferguson from Washington.
Yeah, I know. Editor Clyburn told me you wanted to talk to me.
That's right.
You almost lost your chance.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die. Tombstone territory. Mid-morning in Tombstone, October 16, 1882. There had already been one arrest, a near killing, and the Conference on Crime was in session.
So, President Arthur sent me out here to investigate your mounting crime and lawlessness. He feels that Tombstone is a blot upon the entire country. Your Boot Hill is proof enough of that.
Mr. Ferguson, wherever there's sudden wealth, there's always sudden death, whether it be a diamond strike in Africa or a silver strike in Arizona.
What's your opinion, Clyburn?
There's crime and lawlessness in Tombstone, yes. That's in the nature of a boom town. But most important, our law has never lost the upper hand.
Then why should any newspaper send me all the way from New York to do stories about Tombstone? Gentlemen, you know this is one of the most notorious towns in the West.
Hope you're not expecting too much, Miss Blythe. You could be disappointed.
Oh, I'll get my stories.
Good newspaper woman, Clay. Those were fine stories you sent up last spring from Panama about the digging of the canal.
Thank you. I think this investigation will make good copy, too.
Please understand, the President merely wants to offer his help if you need it.
The law's getting control.
How about your Apaches? You don't seem to have them under control.
They're more a matter for the military. General Crook and the cavalry, although we do work hand in hand.
The famous General Crook?
He'd be more famous if he could catch Geronimo.
They're very interested in reading about the Apache wars back east.
Yeah, we'd rather read about them, too.
Been wanting to interview the general. Just can't seem to get down to Fort Huachuca at the same time he's there.
That's where General Crook is now?
Or somewhere in the mountains. Pretty treacherous country.
Elizabeth Blythe had come to Tombstone for a story, and she was determined to get it. She rode out toward Fort Huachuca and the dangers of outlaw country.
Where's that lady going, do you know?
Fort Huachuca. Try to find General Crook.
Fort Huachuca. I'm Ferguson, special investigator for the President. Get me a horse, will you? I'd like to see if I can head her off.
Why, yes, sure. I got one already.
Thanks. Thank you. Would you give this message to the telegraph operator? I'd like Fort Huachuca to send a cavalry guard to meet Miss Blythe on the road.
I sure will.
Elizabeth Blythe continued her ride toward Fort Huachuca, unaware that the president's investigator was riding out after her. or that one of the Chandler gang was also riding hard out of Tombstone.
Open up, Ed.
Ed, I got news for you.
Sheriff's dead, huh?
No. The sheriff got Joe in the arm, threw him in jail.
Jail? You stood around like a bum on a log?
Lad, there weren't a thing I could do then. Ed, wait a minute. Don't you want to hear the news?
What news?
About that galoot from Washington.
What about him?
He was sent here by the president to keep an eye on Tombstone. He's headed this way right now, chasing after some gal newspaper reporter from New York.
Yeah. I like that.
Clay! Yeah? Ferguson and Miss Blythe are gone.
Oh, back east?
No such luck. They both rode out toward Fort Huachuca.
Great.
The Chandler gang had a plan to intercept the two riders on their way to Fort Huachuca. Clay Hollister sensed trouble and rode against time.
That was a very foolish thing to do, Miss Blythe. You should have told us your plans.
Well, I'm not that foolish. If I were, I couldn't have left Tombstone. I'm going on to get my story from General Cook.
What's this all about?
The boss got lonesome, wants company.
I don't think he'll want mine. Do you know who I am?
That's the reason he wants to see you. The young lady there may get a good story.
It'll be about you.
Oh, no.
Wait here for me. Howdy, Mr. Hollister. Where are you headed for?
I'm looking for a girl newspaper reporter and a man who set out to find her.
So are we. He wired the fort to send a guard out to meet him.
Well, I can't understand how you missed him.
Me either. Hope nothing's wrong.
Look, Corporal, take your men up through the Huachucas on the way back. I'll ride through the whetstones.
Glad to, Hollister.
And, if you find out anything, wire my deputy in Tombstone.
Right. Hello.
Step up.
Gonna get a drop by, mister. You too, miss?
You'll be doing some dropping yourself. From a scaffold.
That's big talk, mister. From an hombre in your fix.
He has every right to talk big. He's speaking for the United States government.
I know. Sent by the president. That's why I brought him here. I have a small favor to ask of a big man.
What's that?
My brother's in jail in Tombstone. The sheriff shot him. You're going back and release him.
Your brother's in no condition to travel, Chandler.
He'll make it.
I refuse.
Mister, you're in no position to refuse anything.
We'd better go back to Tombstone and do as he asks.
Not you, miss. You're staying here till my brother shows up.
I'm not leaving here without Miss Blythe.
Are you ready to go back to Tombstone?
Without Miss Blythe? No.
Clears, you've got to do as they say.
I want my brother here within 6 hours. And tell Hollister that if he makes one move that looks like a double cross, we clear out for Mexico. With the little lady.
In that case, I guess I have no choice.
Put the blindfold back on him. Take him back where you picked him up. Then he's on his own.
Men together. What's up? Ferguson and that girl, Miss Blythe, disappeared somewhere between here and the fort. How many do we need? All we can get.
Ferguson, where's Miss Blythe? She's with the brother of the man you shot and arrested. His men picked us up. He's holding her prisoner.
Ed Chandler. Sit down. How did you get away?
I'm supposed to tell you to release his brother and get him back to Chandler within 6 hours. Or they take Miss Blythe to Mexico. We've got less than 3 hours to get his brother back there.
Back where?
That, I don't know.
The afternoon of October 16, 1882. The investigator of crime in Tombstone had found some. And had found himself right in the middle of it.
I've been trying to get something on the Chandlers. They're suspected of murder, rustling, smuggling, armed robbery, everything in the book.
I'll get the men to follow Joe. Maybe we can find him that way.
Never mind the posse. Ed'd just skip over the border with the girl. Feel like taking a ride? Depends on where to. Back to your brother. I'm turning you loose. Oh?
What's the joker?
Seems like a good idea.
Afraid Ed'll come with the boys and blast the town, huh?
Maybe.
Or maybe you think you're gonna follow me and find Ed, huh?
I'm not gonna follow you. I'm gonna take you.
All right. There's nothing I'd like more than getting you within range of Ed's guns.
Quint, I'm gonna take your horse. Mine's tired out.
Sure, Clay.
And don't let anybody follow us.
We won't. But if you're not back by tomorrow, the whole town will go out after you.
We'll be back.
And don't let anything happen to that on the way. or Miss Blythe is a gunner.
Yeah. First you have to shoot him, then you have to keep him alive.
The life of Elizabeth Blythe depended on delivering Joe Chandler before the 3-hour deadline had passed. Chandler grew weaker, and the ride was slow. Time was running out.
Hold it. Well, I'm glad to see you're so full of fight. Afraid I was going to lose you before you led me to your brother.
You smart up, lawman. Go on back. You don't know what you're walking into.
Mount up.
I guess we better get ready to ride. Looks like Joe isn't going to show up. You'll find lots of things to write about in Mexico, miss.
Chandler! Send the girl out, I'll turn your brother loose.
No! Turn Joe loose, then I'll let the girl go.
I'm calling this.
How do I know you'll let him go?
She walks to me slowly, he walks to you slowly. And I'll have him covered every step of the way.
You'll shoot him.
Unless I have to. Give me the girl, there won't be any shooting this time.
All right. Why didn't you get Hollister when you had the chance?
You were just too fast for me.